love the name and body of people. It's great.
But body of people
Yeah.
was so important to me because, you know, as I said, I sat with some musician friends and I said, it's got to be something that I can shorten if I want to. Bop is music, bop
Yeah.
is jazz, but body of people meant it is a body of people that
Exactly.
are coming together.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, oh, why didn't you call it the Dollie Henry Company? I said, my ego can't cope with that. That is too much. That I didn't want my name in front of it because then it would be about me.
Yeah.
With body of people, it can be about the people then that I bring to this space and we bring, you know. So that's how BOP started. BOP started at the South Bank in 1995 after I did this piece, which was Touches of Miles. I did a piece called Touches of Miles, which was the music of Miles Davis. And I had 6 musicians playing Miles's music and I had 6 dancers. I took a selection of his tunes and I just turned those tunes into dance. And I remember Petra standing at the back of the auditorium watching this piece of work and going, wow. And I kind of had an out-of-body experience because it wasn't like it was my work. It was like I was watching something that was like, whoa, what is this? But it was my work. And that's kind of the first time I realized that actually, I'm a creative artist. I can do this. I'm not just a choreographer, I'm a creative artist. And that might sound really egotistical, but you have to believe in yourself at some point.
Yeah, but when you said that now, I think of the many composers I speak to, and they actually say the same thing. It's the moment you hand it over and you have the musicians perform it, then they hear it then for the first time as intended, and that's probably how you see it then as well. Because I presume when you do choreography, it's in your head the whole time, and then you have to hand it over.
And literally, it's like giving birth, you know. And I remember somebody saying to me afterwards, how do you feel? And I said, I'm kind of blown away. I feel like I've just given birth to something.
Really,
you know, really, it felt like I'd given birth to something that was a part of me. It was me. And that was the beginning of BOP. And actually, funny enough, we are doing the same piece. The piece was half an hour. Now it's 45 minutes. Now we have pictures of Miles and projections and his voiceover. It's changed every time we do it. We add and we change and we change and we change and we change. And we're actually doing it in September. We're bringing it back in September, the whole piece. But it's changed so much. It's grown with me. And it's grown with the company, and it's become the inaugural piece of the company, Touches of Miles. So that's how BOP started. And as I say, I was commissioned to do this piece, Touches of Miles, and it was for the Arts Council. The Arts Council sponsored it, and it was a program called Nubian Steps, and it was about highlighting Black choreographers in the UK. And that's how it started. That's how BOP started. And since that day, it's only now, funnily enough, it's only now that we're now just getting the support from the Arts Council, because no one's really ever seen jazz as an art form. Everyone, no. If that was the case, I'd be off and flying by now, but it hasn't been the case at all. We have a problem in this country, and I'm talking about the UK, where we see jazz as musical theatre. We see it as a commercialized idea of musical theatre. We don't understand that there is such thing called jazz theatre. Not musical theatre, jazz theatre, the high art end. And my argument and my push and my whole rhetoric for many, many years to anyone is that where is the art of jazz? We all look at the commerciality of it and we all think it's a little bit of fun and we trivialize it, but there is an art form that comes of a people, and those people happen to be my people. And if I dare to say it, and I do say it a lot, we can't look at the appropriated version of it all the time. We have to go back and we have to look at where did this art form come from? Who are the people that instigated it? Maybe they didn't get the voices out and they didn't get it written down because they were the originators of it. But people took that art form and they made it famous in their name. Exactly. But they took it to the commercial entity. They didn't keep it in its artistic entity. So for me, it's about putting jazz in that same place, as I often say to people, we have classical dance, we see that as art. We have contemporary dance, we see that as art. There is jazz dance, we need to see that as art as well. You know, and for me, that's what we do. That's what BOP is about. It's about placing jazz above that parapet of commerciality and saying it is an art form. And to do it, you have to be kind of deep about it. There is a deepness about it. There is
Absolutely.
you know, there is it's very deep, you know. And I often say, you know, I am standing on great shoulders. It's not me. I'm just I'm a vessel that this thing is coming out of. But I am literally standing on shoulders that are mighty, 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 and they stem right the way back from Africa.
Yeah.
So I'm not messing with this. I'm only trying to keep it moving forward in a way that is not commercialized, but can be exploited as commercially as a commercial entity as well. So it has two sides, jazz. It really has. And then there's the music, and then there's the song, and then and the layers. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and you know, when I speak to jazz musicians or classical musicians who play jazz as well, it's always this thing. It's not so easy. You know, people think, oh, it's easy, but for a classical musician, it's sometimes difficult because that improvisation is not, you know, it doesn't come natural for them.
Naturally, it's something you either have and you're able
Exactly.
to do, or
Yeah.
it's, you know, my husband said it. Now, he's trained as a classical musician, but he trained and went into jazz and learned from the jazz musicians. And, you know, he learned from African musicians. And, you know, he's great. He'll talk about jazz in a way that you'd actually think he was black. Because he said you can't make this stuff up. He said you have to feel it. And if you're not feeling it and it's not naturally there for you, and you're having to struggle to find that natural way of playing those notes, and it's a voice. Your improvisation becomes your voice. So in many ways, for a musician, I understand it. And I've always said the same to dance. In fact, I said it to my dancers the other week. Last week? When I hear a jazz musician play, and they play within their group, and there's a quartet and they're all playing their instruments, but they're all having a conversation through their instruments.
Yeah.
We need to be able to do the same as dancers. Now, of course, we have to set stuff up and we have to place it, and there's a technique and everything, but then we have to get rid of the fear. That is am I good enough? No. You need to find that your technique is so good that you can throw it away.
Exactly.
So that then you can step into the dance and be the dance, not the dance be you, but you be the dance. And it's a difficult thing to do. And it's a difficult place to find if you're feared up. And it's about fear. Jazz is fearless. It's about being fearless.
But you really, when you look at jazz musicians playing together, you would really think they're at a party on their own, you know, and you just want to be there. You want to be, you know, but I can imagine also for a dancer, because they're much more self-aware when they're dancing. So it's what a great thing it is if you can get rid of that, isn't it?
But it goes back to what we were talking about right at the beginning, about this rigidity of what we're supposed to be. And that is the beautiful thing. You know, jazz dance, if it's taught and it's understood correctly, is the most freest art form in dance. But yet it's the most structured. You need to know the structure. You need to know your technique. You need to know who you are and your ability. You know, I often say to my dancers, the more you give me of you, the more I can create on you, because then I'm creating for you.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, we're so, you know, most dancers are taught, do it my way. I'm not asking a dancer to do it my way. I'm saying, do it your way. Show me who you are, and I will grab the best of you and turn that into something beautiful.